Huh.
Ooh, this is interesting. I am falling, yet
Oh,
not falling.
what the?
Welcome back to
Oh,
Crowns of Fire!
I.
And today, I'm going to be working on my base more, finally. The main thing I'm going to be working on today is kind of cleaning stuff up. Currently, I've got bits and pieces of buildings I haven't finished tearing down. I've got chests everywhere. I need to move all my storage and my furnace from down here up into the warehouse, and I need to start working on what I'm going to be calling the marketplace, and that will be where I will have all of my kind of main stuff. Like I'll have a smelter that'll keep my my bulk smelter here. Well, I say that I might end up building a super smelter if I can figure out how to build one, just because it would be a lot faster than that old thing. Um, and I'm just going to be trying to make some maybe semi-functional buildings that are kind of going to be along what's going to be the main road here, and just kind of try and get it, cleaned up because currently my base, especially right here, is a big mess. So anyway, please stick around to the end of the video, and I do hope you'll enjoy. So first thing I'm going to do is start getting rid of these buildings, or well, not really buildings, they're more like just floating roofs at this point, but they have been here for far longer than they should have been. I don't know why I cleared the entirety of the village out except for these two. I just never got around to clearing them, so let me just go ahead and get rid of these real quick. Alright, now that those are gone, I'm going to finish this little road right here that I'd started building a while back, but I, once again, just never finished it, so let me get that done. Alright, I went to spawn and managed to pick up every single item, and I figured out there's actually a good storage place. I can just leave them all on the top shelf in here. And later, I will probably go and dye them so they're a bit easier to differentiate and so they just look a little better. Alright, I was gonna use basalt with the deep slate to make the road, but I've just learned that smooth basalt and normal basalt doesn't have a slab form, so I'm gonna have to find something else, which slightly annoying because I actually quite like how it looks for the road, but I really want this kind of curved shape, especially because I have a gutter at the end. All right, there's well, here's what I got done on the road so far. I guess I should say thanks to Wise because he figured out two blocks from the same made from the same block actually look decent together, and it's really the only color palette I could figure out. I wanted to use blackstone, but blackstone just kind of contrasted too much. I really wanted to use smooth basalt, except smooth basalt doesn't have a slab form, and this whole section's made out of slabs. But yeah, there's that. Also, I've just learned that the new person who is going to be on the server, he actually isn't going to be on by this episode, which is, I know, mildly annoying, maybe more than mildly annoying, but hopefully within the next year, before we end the season, he'll be on. But now that this is done, I am, I think the thing I need to work on is up here around the portal. I had intentionally put the portal right here, and that's because what I want it to be like is kind of you walk out of it, and as you walk out of it, you kind of get this view. First, it's put perfectly in line with the roadway, so you get a nice view that runs across the roadway. You can see the markets, you can see the stuff that'll be over here, and you can even see the warehouse, but you'll then just have an open view. Like, it's very specific and almost unintended because I didn't think about this until I built the portal, but it's kind of a really cool thing. And I'm going to remove some of this so it'll be easier to see. But I also want to make it go the other way. I want it kind of to be that the portal is not the center, because the center is actually intended to be the clock tower, which I might try and move it over from where it's currently at to put it in line with the portal, so it just looks maybe almost uncannily symmetrical, but not symmetrical, but like centered. But my portal is kind of going to be the almost centerpiece, but it's not going to be very big. It's just going to be just big enough to be noticeable. So I think that's what I need to work on next is getting this cleared out and getting the portal worked on. And then I'll start working on the road that kind of goes up the side of the hill and kind of brings everything up here. And I think that looks a bit better now that I've got a shovel that's decent. I know it looks very ugly now because the blocks look terrible, but I'm going to come back and I'm probably going to dig it down more and then come back on top of it and make it look nicer, a bit smoother. But that's just mostly it was in the way. So when you walk out of the portal, you couldn't kind of just get the whole full view. I want to kind of do it how I did this portal, which is these kind of spikes that come out. But I want to make it either smaller or just maybe like refined. Like these ones kind of look almost like unnatural, but like not people built. I want the other one to almost look like it was built, but almost kind of like I want to make it look like you're not sure if it was built or if it was just there. All right, so I have been working on it a bit more. I got, like I said, I got this area dug out, but then I started kind of digging back this way. I did have to break the portal, so I temporarily can't use the nether hub, but that's not the end of the world as I'm going to be putting it back together soon. But I'm kind of trying to make it look like this kind of cave, but I don't want it to look fully like a natural cave. I'm going to go in and add probably basalt and stuff like that to the sides. Um, but I did get this dug out, and I haven't built the portal yet, so I just marked it out with dirt, which will be, of course, replaced with obsidian, though I think I'm going to extend it to make it a little bigger so that this can be a little bit better looking. And these two blocks do still line up with this whole thing. So when you come through the portal and you walk out, you gotta kind of step up here instead of the way it was originally. So I might move it up a little more, but you still get the whole view of the whole base when you walk out of it, which I really like. Don't ask me why I'm doing this with a wooden axe. I just happened to be what was in my inventory. This is actually, in fact, the very last part of the village. There is, I don't think, except for maybe a singular villager, if they're even still buried. I'm not sure if they're still over here because one was put in this thing, which kept flinging them into the air, and then I don't know what happened. They just disappeared, and then there was another one over here, but I don't know what happened to it. Still over here? Oh yeah, it is. So there's one villager left um, from the village, and then I'm removing this box, and this is the very last like evidence, aside from maybe the pathways, which I'll switch out, that there was a village here at one point. All right, so I managed to start working on getting this filled in. So I'm going to have this whole thing filled in with basalt here, with smooth and regular basalt. And then once I get to maybe, say, 3 blocks or so from the portal, I'm going to switch it out for something darker. Still figuring that out. I might do like deep slate or maybe like black blackstone some. I'm not sure. But something like that. And then I think I want to actually try and do a little bit of light redstone underneath, and maybe if I can get some copper bulbs, make like a fading effect, like have the light, have it lit, but I'll have like light that kind of blinks. I don't know. The only way to describe it is to actually build it, but that'll be probably later. But I have the portal lit now, although I probably should have made the edges a little wider. But it definitely looks the way I wanted it. And coming out here, oh yeah, that looks really nice. I may even put some amethyst around the end to make the portal just not as easy to distinguish. But ooh, I really like that actually. But now I think, well, while I'm thinking of it, I'm going to add some amethyst around it, and then I'm going to head back to I'm going to fly to the other village and make sure the portal's linked up correctly, and then it'll be functional again, and then I'll just have to finish adding the detail around it.
What?
The current bit of the soundtrack I'm hearing. That's new.
What is it?
It's I don't know what it's called, but I think it's part of the last update.
Huh.
It's one of the latest added soundtrack pieces. It's quite nice sounding.
Do you know what a zero tick piston is?
Yeah, I think so. Yes.
Okay, so this
Why
is
do
the
you always build
super
your
zero tick.
contraptions in the middle of my base?
Well, I needed to show you this.
You didn't even dismantle the last one. It sounds like a train.
Okay, it does, but do you see what's wrong here?
Sounds like a train from before the 1950s.
But do you see what's going wrong here?
Not really. Thank you.
My job here is complete. Redstone man away!
Alright, I've been working on it for a while, and I've gotten the portal looking pretty good. I think I need to touch up around the edges and kind of blend the terrain to make it look a little better. I think I want to make this look more like a rock wall here instead of having so much dirt and grass around it. But for now, I think I'm happy with this. I kind of like how this looks. Um, I got to build up some lore to figure it out because this portal honestly wasn't originally intended. It just kind of fits right there. So I got to figure out some lore. I'm thinking maybe uh, I'm not sure, but it was a portal built by or it was made by the people who started this whole kind of town and city. And the way it's supposed to kind of be is like this is like all burnt because whatever they did to open it like burned everything around it and kind of left it charred. Um, and I might can even use to make it look a little better once the Pale Garden update comes out. I might use that to kind of make this look kind of more just like have more colors, more different patterns. But I think this will work for now. I just need to kind of go around here. But before I do that, currently I think what I need to do is get my storage situation fixed because I built this several weeks back. Can't use doors apparently. I built this whole kind of warehouse a few weeks back, and I built enough storage for a small amount of time. I'm gonna need more, but enough for now. But I haven't actually used it. I haven't done anything with it. In fact, you can see the cobwebs have shown up. Um, but I think what I next need to do is move all of this kind of mess, all the storage that's down here, up into it and get it where I'm no longer down below here. Because honestly, it's kind of dangerous between the drowned and the mobs that appear down here. And I really just need to make it where the only reason I should be down here is for the sugar cane that's over here, and maybe if I'm getting materials from the pit here. 3, 2, but anyways, I got only this much moved. But I think I'm gonna call it there. I think I'm gonna call that end of the episode for this week. That's just because I would like to get this out on the right day, and so I'm going to do that. I only got this road and the portal done, but the portal looks so much better than it did before. It was just previously just a thing in a wall, and now it actually looks pretty good. I'm really, really happy with this, as well it's still usable, and I get that view that I wanted when you walk out of it. But if you have enjoyed and do like this kind of content, please do like and subscribe, and please do stick around. Definitely a lot more happening. Definitely going to have a lot of stuff, hopefully, in the next video. Yeah, I will see you in the next video. Goodbye.